Welcome back to Wichita's Biz That Is. I'm Tim Witzman, president of the Wichita Independent Business Association, and with me is Alicia Holloway, the president of Right Recruiting, who was also chair of the board of the WIBA at one time.
In 2011.
And we both survived.
Yeah.
Some didn't expect that,
You
but
know,
we did.
Yes, but I have to tell you, it was one of the greatest years I spent.
Oh, you were
It was
fantastic.
Wonderful.
All right,
I
enough
loved
of
it.
that stuff.
Okay.
People don't care about that. So the way people are paid, any other changes? I mean, I don't mean the way they're paid, but the pressures on payment. Anything else that's changed in the business?
We are expected now to always pull a rabbit out of the hat. It is still very much an employee's market with respect to number of candidates per position. For a position, okay? For instance, you have a staff accountant position. There are going to be plenty of people that will apply for that job, assuming that the salary and the benefits are there for the people to make a move. However, the company is expecting us to find the absolute rabbit out of the hat, the absolute perfect person. They have to walk on water. They have to do it for the lowest amount of their salary.
Well, you've done that for me.
Sure.
So the rest
And
of
we
you
do
just
it.
anticipate that's what she's going to do.
So and it's difficult, and the only way you do that is to see every single resume you can, interview as much as you can, phone screen them, talk to them, network, ask to try to get the candidate that maybe is not actively looking right now. That's the way you just have to work a little harder and dig a little deeper.
Well, I remember when I was in Topeka, I went up there, and I must have interviewed 50 to 60.
Right.
Now, that was ridiculous.
Yes.
But there were a lot of people who, on paper, were qualified, and was really surprised at the person I came out with. I won't give you all those details, but I was surprised at who I ended up with.
Yeah.
Not what I anticipated starting, but I mean, extremely capable, great worker. Let's talk about what employers are looking for. And I know we can't get into, well, they have to be able to do these particular tasks, but tell me in general, what's an employer looking for these days?
Actually, that has not changed. Employers want what they have always wanted since Adam and Eve. They want someone that fits into their culture, personality. That is so incredibly important. The technical skills, you can always find the technical skills, and if you don't have them, those are trainable. What's not trainable is what's inside of a person. Does your personality work well with that company? Are you there every day? Are you dependable? Do you have integrity? Will you do what you tell them you're going to do in an interview? It's such a scary thing hiring a person. And an interviewing process and the hiring process is still highly subjective. It's to the company, it's a guessing game. So they use us to take out of that
Right.
that guesswork.
So what they're
out of the
doing
way.
is,
So
if they've gotten by you, they have the skills.
they absolutely have the
They can
skills.
do that kind of work.
Yes.
And the question then is, does that?
My job is to know exactly what that company is looking for and present only the candidates that fit. And typically, it's never more than 2 or 3 people per job. If I'm doing my job right, that's about the number of candidates that I will present to a company for their position.
Have you seen a change in the people then? If the businesses are asking more or less for the same thing, what's different about applicants?
It's harder to find the person I just described. And that doesn't mean that people don't have integrity or dependability or any of those things, but their version of it is different, particularly when you start in differing age groups. Quality of life to a person 40 or younger is more paramount to them in some situations than is their career. People my age, we lived and died by our careers. That was how we identified
moved wherever you had
ourselves.
to move.
We did work whatever hours, and we were proud of it. We were absolutely thrilled to death to be associated. That's not the case. So this is still a source of conflict. A company has got to understand, I'm still going to get a great job done by this person. I need to understand that I need to compromise a little bit about some flexible schedules or whatever it is, because this candidate that I really want is going to demand it of me.
Well, this is interesting because I used to notice if you went to like resort areas, the work ethic was not the same. And the reason was that's not why people were there.
That's exactly right.
Because I remember one time I'd been in Kansas City area, and I can't remember what it was, restaurant or whatever, and the service was good. I was perfectly happy. And then I went 2 other places. One was in Memphis and one was somewhere else. And I was just, oh my God. But one of those places was a touristy place. And I thought, well, the people who are here ain't here to work. They're here for
enjoy.
lifestyle.
That's exactly right.
Does that bode, is that a difficulty for our country? Because there are countries where people have the ethic that you described earlier.
I worry about it a little bit. I really do, because if there's going to be a relaxation of working, how are we all going to pay our bills? How are we going to compete? And taxes and infrastructure and all of the things, and it scares me a little bit. And if that's their mentality, what are they going to impart to their children? So I would like to think that it's going to come back around in a circle and we will have that World War II era ethics again, but I'm not seeing it.
Well, you and I have done some presentations to people who are looking for jobs.
Yep.
What is it that people have or don't have that you know, if we could talk to them before they ever get to your office?
What you're doing, if you're looking for a job, is you are presenting yourself to a company.
That's the commodity.
That's the commodity. You, and a resume is you on paper. So understand that, yes, you're scared, you're nervous, you're anxious, but you need to check those feelings at the door and present who you are in the most positive manner possible. And there's a line there too. You don't want to seem so egotistical and full of yourself that you come across as a diva. You just need to say, this is what I can do, this is what I'd like in a job, and would you please give me a few minutes of your time? Just be genuine. People are going to hire you with that kind of an attitude, even if you need training in some of the specific areas that they're looking for. They'll always hire personality over that.
Interesting. And that's difficult for some folks.
Yes.
I mean, even good workers.
Yes.
I've had boards who wanted me to get rid of people because they didn't have what they thought was the right personality, and I've tried to explain different jobs, different personalities.
It's absolutely true. It's
Right.
absolutely true.
Well, we'll be back in just a moment for the final part of Wichita's Biz That Is.